Only on Animal Expedition Files. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Animal Expedition Files. I am your host, the animal, the one and only animal, the animal that tries to stay out of trouble but can't. But thank you so much for joining me on my show on a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I want to tell you something a little bit here on the Animal Show. We are switching up things. We're not just doing paranormal, cryptid, UFOs, conspiracy theories, all the things paranormal, wild. We are getting into the wrestling realm tonight with an ECW legend referee. You don't want to miss out. It's going to be an awesome night. We're going to be talking about all things wrestling, behind the scenes of wrestling, what is wrestling all about, and especially extreme championship wrestling, what the life was working there and being hit and beat up all the time and beating them up. But I'm excited. Also, we got some really good stuff coming up here pretty soon. We're going to be interviewing a lot of cool people. But you don't want to miss out. It's going to be a good show tonight. And yeah, please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Also, I have a website now. I am working up in a level of the internet or ethernet, whatever you call it. So click that. If you could see it right there, the QR code, take a picture of it. It will take you to my website. Also, you could also go to my merch. You could buy some cool shirts and mugs and all that cool stuff. And I'm going to have a shirt out or something new. At least try once a week or something like that. I'll have a new something new out in the merch store. So go check it out. I just put a new shirt up there today. So it's pretty cool. It's badass looking, so you don't want to miss out. Hey, Ghost Girl, what's up? I'm very excited about this. But I want to show a video on my guest today. We're going to watch it here real quick. It's pretty cool. So check it out and we'll have them on. Hey, what's up, Jim?
Yikes. How are you?
Do you remember that happening when you were doing that?
Yeah. I've been in that situation several times. I've been able to hold my own every once in a while.
That has to hurt. I heard that slap. When I saw that video and heard that slap, that had to hurt.
Oh, they do not tickle. I'll tell you, the first day I went to train at a wrestling school, I got backed into the corner and a shirt put over my head, and I must have been chopped for a good 15 minutes by I don't know how many guys. But I survived and came back the next day.
Wow.
So I got through my initiation.
That's crazy. Even being a ref, you get beat up pretty well and you get to beat them up too, because it's just, I've been such a wrestling fan, growing up when I was a kid. I'll never forget seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H back in the day, all these legends, especially from ECW. It's totally amazing how, because you could hear those I went to a WWE event. It was a year ago here in Fort Myers, Florida, and we were sitting up pretty high, and you could hear those slaps. they were loud, and I'm like, they do not fake that stuff. Like when they're
Yeah.
stopping.
No, and I'll tell you what, if you don't hear it, that hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts a lot more if you don't hear it.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. So everybody, welcome Jim here. He's also he's an was on ECW, but ECW is no more. You got other like WWE and AEW out now, and a whole bunch of other programs. But I miss ECW because the reason why is because the hardcoreness from it, like it was intense. Like people going through freaking barbed wires and tables and fire. Like it just was like it was real to me, growing up as a kid. And like give me a little like synopsis of like your experience of how you got into this journey into being a ref and into ECW.
Just growing up, I was a fan of wrestling, and I grew up in the Northeast, just outside of Philadelphia. So I grew up watching the WWF.
Oh.
Champion at the time was Bob Backlund. So even before Hulkamania, that's how old I am. And so years go by, and I got away from it and got into hockey because the Flyers became big right when they won the Stanley Cup, and got into music and all the kind of things that teenagers go through. And it wasn't until I was married and working a job, and I had this guy that I worked with, and we just started talking wrestling, and it was during the Hulkamania time. And at the time, the NWA showed up on our television. Like we never had it before.
Yeah.
It was when cable's just starting to really grow. So we were the two of us, my buddy Joe and I, we were more fans of the NWA. We ended up going to a show. It was one of the Great American Bash of '87.
Wow.
And just had a great time. And the ring announcer's name was Joel Goodhart, who had a local radio show in Philadelphia and had a fan club. And he was starting his own promotion called the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance. And so I played around with the idea of being a manager for a while away from Joel, and went to a school and never really learned anything. Went to Joel and said, hey, we were friends. And I said, hey, could you use a manager? He's like, I got enough managers, but I'll tell you what. And he gave me the pitch on becoming a referee. And after he was done, he said, okay, like he gave me the price and training and sessions and all that kind of stuff. And he said, give me a call in a couple of days or next week and let me know what you think. And I said, okay, and hung up, and called him back 10 minutes later and said, I'll see you Tuesday with the money.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And one thing he promised me, that the first year in the business, I would make back the money that I put into my training. And he was right. I did. I made the money back that I put into my training that first year.
Yeah.
Different story after that. But that's how I got my start with. And Tri-State Wrestling Alliance, they shut down. Excuse me. They shut down, became the people behind the scenes of Tri-State, or one of them was Todd Gordon, who said, stick around, we're going to do something. And they came up with ECW. Time it was just Eastern, just doing little independent shows, just a little independent company out of Philadelphia. And we got local TV, and it started to grow, and got some syndication here and there. We got syndication down here throughout Florida, the old Sunshine Network. And it was growing so much that we had to change the name, and Extreme was hot time. Without changing the letters, it became Extreme Championship Wrestling, and the rest a legend from there.
Wow, man, that's pretty cool, because man, so many people have came out of that too. ECW, you got RVD, I can't remember.
RVD, the Dudleys.
Yeah, the Dudleys.
Guido from the FBI. Let's see, Sabu, of course. Trying to think who the WWE guys were. Steve Austin came through. for a
Yeah.
little while. Well, when we first started at Eastern, we had guy named Cactus Jack with us, who became Mick
Yeah.
Foley and Mankind.
Oh, legend.
We had Terry Funk with us. Not that he started
Yeah.
with us, but we had Terry Funk, we had Bam Bam Bigelow, Dean Malenko, Chris Jericho. We were the first American company to bring in a lot of the luchadors that you see or have seen. We were the first ones to bring in Rey Mysterio. Trying to think, like you can just go through the list and go, oh wow, I didn't know he came from ECW. You can look at the ECW roster, and a
Yeah.
lot of them moved on to other places, and we're like, wow, I didn't know he was there.
Yeah. You got WCW. Um, well, you got TNA.
Right.
So
Yeah, a
many.
lot of the guys went to other places, and either during the ECW run, they would go from WWF to WCW or the other way, and they'd take a
Yeah.
little break and come in with us for a little bit. That was how we got Steve Austin going from WCW to WWF.
Wow. Yeah, that I was such a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. When I saw him live, the arena was loud.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that moment. It was pretty intense seeing him, especially him and Triple H. They were in The Rock too. The Rock was another a guy who came through, started young out of nowhere, and like holy crap, now he's like a movie star and making all these freaking movies. Uh,
right.
yeah, pretty crazy, man. Tell me a little bit about behind the scenes, because I know like I know with WWE and AEW and all that, they're big. Their production is crazy. It's huge. Like, what was behind the scenes like in a production wise?
We were very small on production. We had two cameramen; they would film everything.
Wow.
Um, the voiceover by Joey Styles
Mm,
would excuse me would be done around the same time they did the editing of the film or the tape. So it wasn't done live there at the building unless it was a pay-per-view. Then then it was all taken care of right there live. But there wasn't a lot in the way of production.
mm,
There were times where we'd be at the building for a show, and Paul would come in, Paul Heyman, who was the owner of ECW,
yep.
would come in and either write down everyone's names. He'd look around, see who's here, and he'd start doing matchups.
Wow.
And there were times that the first match was going to the ring, and he's still writing out a list of matches.
Wow.
He had an idea of what he needed for his television, but then would build around it and see what came out of what that was.
Now, did you guys have like writers or stuff, or he just came up with like
No, it was all in his head.
all in his head? He told everybody what to say and do.
Yeah, I mean, the guys had their own ideas,
Yeah.
and they would collaborate with. Okay, Paul wants me to do this, and I'm on the same path, but I want to do it, take it down this road a little way, and do it my way, and they would come to an agreement.
Yeah.
Which would be better.
Yeah. Now, during your referee time in ECW, like, did you get pretty banged up a lot by the
Yeah,
wrestlers?
I had a good handful of injuries.
Oh,
Probably broke almost every finger in my hands.
oh man.
Let's see, a wrist, broken nose, partial ACL tear on a live pay-per-view.
Man.
Yeah, luckily my elbows are pretty good. My shoulders are good, but yeah, my knees. That's really been it. My knees are the worst.
Well, especially like that mat, the wrestling mat. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, I don't know if a lot of people who are wrestling fans out there listening right now, but like, what's under the mat? Like, is
Well,
it?
it ain't a waterbed or a trampoline or
No, I wouldn't think
fluffy
it would.
pillows. Usually, what it is, it's a metal frame,
Yeah.
and depending on what type of ring it is, there's metal to hold the framework together. Then you put on top of that, depending on again the promotion, either planks that are inch and a half, usually to an inch. Inch, you're getting into a little trouble because they break easily. So you want inch and a
Yeah.
half, 2 inch thick planks, or it might be just plywood, depending on how cheap the promoter is.
Yeah.
And then on top of that is some sort of padding. It's not as thick as a mattress. It's maybe 2 inches thick. Think of like the um, gym mats that used to be rolled up for wrestling in your high school. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they roll them up and put them against the wall. Think of something like that.
Wow.
And then it just has the canvas on top of that. So you've got maybe an inch and a half to 2 inches of padding, and then it's just wood and metal from there.
Mm. Yeah. That seems pretty intense when you get slammed down.
Yeah, so it's not all that friendly, and it depends on how well the ring's put together, and like I said, the condition of the wood. I mean, a lot of times the wood will break or slip out of place, and you're going to find a hole in the ring, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the responsibilities of a referee to get. I love to get in the ring and walk around and check it and make sure there aren't any planks that are like a seesaw, or there are any holes in the ring.
Yeah. Now, like being as a referee, like I know I see them wearing earpieces all the time now, especially like watching WWE. I was watching a little documentary how like people from back in the room like tell them like, "Oh, is a wrestler okay? Like you have this much time." Is that how they did it back then too in the day?
No, no,
No.
I've only used earpieces a few times. The WWE ECW pay per views.
Yeah.
The two that I worked, we had earpieces, and all we could do was hear someone in the back, and they were giving us time.
Yeah.
5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. Take it home, finish it, get the match finished. But in ECW, the entire run, and before that, and even on the majority of the independents I've worked and still work, I don't use an earpiece. Usually pretty good with time in my head. But back in the ECW days, we had the timekeeper sat ringside, and he
Wow.
would actually keep the time and know that the match had 15 minutes, and he would give us hand signals. So it's
Yeah.
just an example of 5 minutes gone by, 10 minutes gone by, 15 minutes gone by, finish the match, a pen in the mouth.
Oh, wow.
So you were watching the timekeeper.
Yeah.
Uh, if someone was hurt, somebody's hurt. Give them this if they're okay. That was basically it.
Now,
But the modern day, you can even talk back to the person at the control room,
huh.
and let them know. You don't have to give them the hand signal anymore to let them know if they're hurt or okay. And just,
Wow.
now just, click the button in your pants pocket. Okay, we're going. We're going to keep going.
Now, like during these processes of when they do these wrestling matches, how do they decide who wins like a championship belt or a match, or how these things come about, like these matches and
It's all what the promotion is doing and using for what they think they can, a way they can get the people to come back.
yeah,
Obviously, if you had, and there are two different philosophies too, especially championship. There are two different philosophies to it. One, you make money with a champion that people want to see
yeah,
on a regular basis, or there's a champion that people hate and they want to see the guy beat them.
mm,
So your two best examples of those are Hulk Hogan. Everybody loved Hogan, and they wanted to see him beat the Iron Sheik, or whoever the villain
Andre the
wrestler was
Giant.
at the time, or Roddy Piper, whoever, or Ric Flair's the champion, and
Mhm.
you wanted to see Dusty Rhodes beat him.
Wow.
So people, that's what it is. Oh, that darn Ric Flair, he won again. I saw him cheat, but next month they're coming back, and it's going to be in a cage, and he can't get away, and Dusty's going to beat him then.
Yeah,
So it's they're the two different philosophies behind your championships.
yeah. Man, now when they hit each other with these belts, do they actually hit them? Because
I would hope so.
like,
Otherwise, it's going to look bad
yeah,
on
that has to have.
television.
That's
You got to have some contact. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
you got to have some somehow. A lot of guys somehow get away with it that there
Mm,
is no contact. Um, you can get a little brush and make it look good. If the guy knows how to throw a punch the right way, he'll barely touch you. Um, the only thing worse than somebody missing you is somebody really clocking you.
yeah. Yeah, because if you watch these things, like you watch them close, like are they actually getting hit or are they timing it just right? Because I
Yeah,
know times you'll hear later on, oh, they're in the hospital getting surgery because they landed the wrong way. There's so many speculations on how these wrestlers try not to get hurt, but they end up getting hurt anyways because one wrong move gets you
yeah.
somewhere where you're pulling something or breaking a rib or
I think a lot of times with modern wrestling, they do so much and they try to get so much in that they worry about getting the move in and don't think about um, how they're going to land or
yeah.
will it really work or am I really getting hit or whatever, and they don't think about the consequences. And it's different. It's so different nowadays because back in the day, if you got hurt or if you hurt your opponent, you're not making any money the next handful of nights because you're not working with that guy. You're
Mhm.
not working with anybody. Now it's a guaranteed contract, and they only do what 2 nights a week maybe if you're lucky. And they really don't do any house shows anymore. Back the territorial days, and people from here in Florida know the stories of Eddie Rams championship wrestling from Florida. You're
Mhm.
working 7, 9 shows a week. You're
Wow.
doing a show every night. You're doing matinees and night shows on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I
So
heard they stopped house shows now.
yeah, I mean everybody pretty much has. Um, the only ones who really do house shows, and they're not even really house shows. They're taped for everybody's or HBO, their YouTube channels or whatever. Everything's taped now, no matter what.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as a house show anymore.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Now, one thing I do want to ask you is getting through like wrestling. What is the experience of like say I want to be a wrestler, like or a referee, like what does it take to get on there and like to get into that spot and how hard is it?
It's hard. Uh, it used to be almost like trying to get into the mob. Um, you
Oh
really
man.
just had to get your way in and find a friend.
Yeah.
Even before I got into it, you would, you'd be the kid hanging around the building, and because the wrestling would come depending on your local promotion once a month or once every week sometimes.
Wow.
So you'd hang around the building and ask if you could help with the ring just to get in for free tickets, or maybe get friendly with one of the wrestlers and you carry his bag for him and eventually say, hey, I'd really like to be a wrestler. And if you have the look, they would say, okay.
Yeah.
They would tell you, no, I don't think you. Well, how about if do you think I could be a referee? And after 6 months of carrying something, and they stretch you for another 6 months to see if you're willing to stick around after
Yeah.
getting beat up every night. And then
Yeah.
they start working with you and training you. And that's a lot different now. Now you just go to a school, and unfortunately, I think a lot of schools say, "Okay, give me your money." Uh, I hate to be mean about it, but there are people who don't belong to be on the other side of the barricade, especially to buy the tickets so the guys in the ring can make some money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of schools nowadays just take everybody's money and say they'll train them. and they think they're automatically a wrestler and know what to do and can perform. It's a lot of hard work,
Yeah.
and like I said, some people just don't belong on that side of the
Mm,
barricade.
yeah. I
I
actually,
would turn people down all the time, and I felt bad about it, but
yeah. I think
I'd
we're,
be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And if they tear
yeah.
tickets or make popcorn or something like that, but I'm sorry, there are people that I just would turn down and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take the chance of training you and seeing you get hurt."
Yeah. That's so true because I actually got to experience going to a wrestling school. I think it was like a couple of years ago. And when I did it, oh my gosh, I felt like I was going to die at that moment. It was hard. It's not easy. And a lot of people think it's an entertainment, but it is entertainment, but getting there, it's the real deal because you have to work hard and constant and don't stop. Like literally,
Right.
like
Yeah,
I,
a lot. If the school knows what they're doing, and maybe
yeah,
they don't do this anymore, but yeah, you wouldn't get in the ring for 6 weeks. You
mhm,
just work on the mat, and
yeah,
then when you did get in the ring, all you did was run the ropes for another three,
yeah.
and you'd go home with rope burns on your across your back.
Uh, That's just crazy. Like those, like I said, those slaps. And I didn't even get to the funny part is I didn't even get to make it to the ring because it was hard. I do admit it was hard. It's not for everybody. I do gotta say that.
No, absolutely not. That's one of the reasons I wasn't a wrestler. I wouldn't knew I wouldn't be able to do it. I was an athlete, somewhat of an athlete in high school.
Yeah.
Played a little soccer, and yeah, that was about it. But no, there was no way I could be a wrestler. I knew it, and I came in the time where wrestlers were all 6'6", 6'8",
They're
big
jacked.
nose, jacked to the gills, and I'm just this medium-sized fat guy losing his hair. And I'm like, nobody's going to make any money off of me doing this. I'll become a referee.
Yeah. But the cool thing about referee is technically you could wrestle. Like in that video we just showed, you get to be part of that experience to be able to wrestle and do refereeing at the same time. So you get a little bit of both.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that too much because you take away from the
Yeah.
boys, from the
Yeah.
wrestlers. I wouldn't even do that once a month
Mm,
because it takes away. I'm not there to be a star. I'm there to make sure the match goes right and everything works out and nobody gets hurt and fans don't try to run in the ring and all that kind of stuff. That's more important than me getting over.
yeah.
One of the best compliments is people will be talking about matches, uh, and they're matches that I did, and they don't realize it. And I'd say, "Well, I did that match," and they'd be like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." Well, thank you. That meant I did my job.
I think I lost you.
There you go. I got you back.
Yeah. I don't know what did I miss hearing? I heard something about a
Oh, I said
match
that
and that.
if a fan doesn't know I did a match, they're talking about it, and I say, well, and I'll tell them, well, I did that match.
Yeah.
And that meant I did my job, that they didn't realize it was me. I'm not supposed to be in front of in the spotlight with the guys. I'm just kind of in the
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree.
background.
Do you ever get fans that like try to like break into the ring and try to be like interact or try to hit a wrestler or anything like that? Have you ever had that experience?
Oh yeah, happened for a long time. But yeah, we had it happened a few times when the Dudleys were in the ring.
Oh, those guys are crazy.
ECW, and they would be stupid, but the fan would be stupid enough to try to get in the ring, and if they got past security, the way that they thought to get in the ring, the best way to get in the ring is to roll under the bottom rope. Well, that's the first place my foot's going.
Yeah.
and everybody else too. You're over that guardrail. It's open season on fans on our side of the guardrail, and I've kicked a few in my day.
Oh
I've
man.
put a few in headlocks to keep them from getting over the top rope.
Wow.
So yeah, I, even going through the crowd. ECW was famous for going through the crowds,
Yeah.
and that was tough to keep fans away. I don't know why they would want to try to interfere. Ridiculous.
I don't know if you can hear me now. I think it froze. One thing I have a question about is, you know how back then they had like these barbed wires and nails and going through the table, putting it on fire. How come they
Mhm.
don't? What changed from then to now? Like, why don't? Is there a reason why they don't do that anymore as much or at all? Because I know it was very big back in the day in the
Yeah.
hardcore
It
wrestling.
yeah, it's just become a different product.
Yeah,
They've gone from a PG-13 to a PG and to a G and, whatever, something
yeah,
that they use for television. So yeah, times change. I don't think ECW could be up and running the way it was nowadays
yeah.
and what we were doing then.
Yeah, it's definitely a different turn. I think it's more turned of an entertainment realm business than more of a wrestling business, I feel,
Right. Yeah,
to
there's
be
there's a lot
famous.
of high flying stuff and I have to use the term. It's kind of Cirque du Soleil sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy how the wrestling realm has changed so much over the years.
Right.
And I'm hoping someday it goes back to that cuz I miss it so much and it's I don't know if they're trying to be it's a safety issue but like it was the attitude era that I think we all miss. And I think that's what's changing now because like ratings are getting less. I've been hearing from other people that ratings are getting less and less because they're saying it's becoming more like a drama, like kind of dramatic more than what it used to be.
Right. Well, I did notice that I don't watch everything, but I did notice this past week's Raw, there seemed to be a lot more matches
Yeah.
than talking. I don't know if it's because we're getting ready for SummerSlam or not, but there seemed to be a lot more action as opposed to backstage interviews and all that kind of stuff in the ring interviews.
Now, do you ever get calls from the wrestling companies of today and ask you to come back to referee?
I still do referee. I don't. That's that doesn't seem to be the process.
Yeah.
It's a lot more of me reaching out, especially since I just moved. I moved to Central Florida in the last 6 months, four
Oh wow.
months.
So recently.
Yeah. Before that, I was in New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia, but I'd work all the way up into New York,
Oh wow.
also, and out into central Pennsylvania too. So I was getting a lot of work uh, there. In fact, there was one company, ISPW,
Hmm.
and Tommy Fierro is a great promoter. He was really good. He knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
and I probably 25 to 30 shows a year for him,
Wow.
which would be enough to keep me busy. But there were some other guys that were more local, and they would, I do stuff with them too. So I was working a good 40 events in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area
Yeah.
uh, before I moved down here. I'm trying to get my name out there.
Yeah.
People, I don't know. I think a lot of it is a combination of things. I think it's that they have a crew or their own guys they've been working with for a handful of years. It's a company that's been around. They also they also look at me and go, "Hey, that's a fat 64-year-old man." But if you look
You're
at some of
still
the stuff,
rocking it, man.
if you look at some of the stuff I've done, I keep up with them.
Yeah,
So if you're not afraid to book me in Florida, I'm right here, man.
that's awesome. Yeah, just in that video. How long ago was that video?
I'm not really sure. Do you have a thing there to say what company it was for, and I can tell you from that.
Doesn't
I'm not really sure. I forget.
it looks pretty.
It doesn't look all that familiar. Oh, I know where it is. I got it now. It was called Lucky Pro, and it was out of the Massachusetts area.
Huh.
So that was just last year.
Oh wow, so that was very recent.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah,
hit by those Tommy Dreamer, another ECW legend that would always hit people with those sticks.
yeah. Him and the Sandman. Those sticks do not tickle.
No, they don't. I'll play this video again in the background, but it's really crazy how, man, just getting hit right there. And the thing is, like you said, you're 63 years old and you're still taking these hits from people that are like huge.
Yeah, I mean, 64. Let's see, 7 years ago now, I'm a heart attack survivor. Uh,
Wow.
actually, survivor of a widowmaker, and for some reason, I can't lose weight, as you can see there by that
Yeah.
picture. But yeah, I mean, I'll still get in the ring, and if I think if they come up with something and I think I can do it, I'm there. I'm right there.
Yeah. If you think about it, like you got who I'm thinking Tommy Dream these people that are big now, Tommy Dreamer, Andre the Giant. I mean, these guys were huge, and I'm sure they're not like fast.
Right,
Like these high flyers now that they got that Seth Rollins, the Hardys,
right.
like freaking who's that new guy that's in there? Um, from Ohio, has blonde hair. A lot of people hate him. Uh,
I don't know. I was going to go Ray Phoenix for you, but
no, it's man, he's gotten really big in the YouTube world and became a WWE star.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul. Like, look
Yeah,
at him, like high flyer, crazy, doing all these crazy stunts now, and like you wouldn't see guys like back in the day doing that. But
yeah,
they even though they weren't as fast, they did some crazy stuff.
yeah. If
Back
someone comes up to me and they're matching and go, "Hey, is it okay if I slam you?" No, it's not. My
no,
feet ain't even the ground.
it's funny that you say that because I've actually seen like up close where wrestlers would talk to each other and say, "Hey, can we do this move?" or "How would this do?" or that I'm gonna lay on the mat and you're gonna pin me 1, 2, 3. Does that happen a lot where a lot of the wrestlers will talk to each other on what they're gonna be doing to each other?
Yeah, well, most of it happens behind the scenes
Yeah.
nowadays. Back, yeah, actually, it was still going on in different territories when I started, where the referees or the wrestlers, the good guys and the bad guys were in separate locker rooms
Oh
and
wow.
did not talk with each other until they were in the ring.
So they actually have feuds against each other, like in real life.
Well, no. I mean, it wasn't that, but just they wanted to keep that illusion up that
Yeah.
we're not all in the back in the locker room exchanging pictures of the
Phone
grand.
number. No, that would be very weird. People would be like, well, why are they talking to each other? Like they know each other.
Right.
No, yeah, it's pretty interesting because people, I'm sure a lot of fit wrestling fans are like, how do they actually get along in real life? And uh, uh you kind of wonder, like, are there really feuds back there? And I know there's some people that say they hate each other, but like, you kind of wonder, is that real or fake? Or are they just acting?
Right. Well, I mean, there would be disagreements
Yeah.
in ECW. I mean, there were guys who, didn't get along,
Hmm.
but we're also a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And if someone from the outside tried something, that guy that you're having an argument with, that's in the ring with you, he might
Mhm.
be the first one at your side.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's a brotherhood, but there was an image that used to try to keep up. I mean, the good guys and the bad guys in the territorial days were not allowed to go to the same restaurants,
Hmm.
hang out with each other. You would
Wow.
get fined. You could not drive together.
Oh, wow. So they couldn't even hang out or do anything like that.
Right? They did not stay at the same hotels.
Man.
So I mean, and I love that. I think I wish they would do that nowadays, just to keep that up and,
Yeah.
and keep that energy, that juice, that excitement of how we really have the fans now. They really think that we hate each other or whatever. Just adrenaline rush.
Yeah. Man. I would love to experience that. That's really cool. One person before we do head out pretty soon. I know we're running short on time, but he's actually in WWE right now, Mr. Paul Heyman. Tell me a little bit about working for him because I know he's the one who started ECW, and give me a little synopsis on him as a boss.
Well, he didn't start ECW. He was actually an employee. Todd Gordon started ECW
Okay.
When it was Eastern Championship Wrestling, and Paul came in as a manager and was managing guys like Jimmy Snuka and Don Morocco and Eddie Gilbert, and then he started. Then he took over being the booker, setting up the matches.
Yeah.
Um, Eddie Gilbert was the booker, and then he left and went to work in Puerto Rico. So Paul took over the book, and eventually Paul bought the company from Todd, and that was when we became Extreme Championship Wrestling. But he was, a great wrestling mind. You can still see it that he's involved. The way he's involved, I can tell when things happen. Paul had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Just from knowing the way his mind works. His business sense stinks. One of the reasons the reason the ECW shut down was it went bankrupt,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were owed money.
Oh, wow.
A lot of the wrestlers were owed money. A lot of backers and television stations and whatnot were owed money. I cannot. His name cannot be mentioned in this house, and my wife will freak out.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing, and knows where he's going, and knows how he's getting there.
yeah. Yeah, especially him now in the WWE. It's pretty crazy the stuff he does now, especially at his age. I'm sure he's not a young chicken still.
Yeah,
Getting,
he's right behind me. I think he's 61, 62.
yeah, I know. I think it was like last year they threw him into a table, one of the announce tables, and just being that age, just getting thrown. I'm sure it doesn't feel good.
No, no, and he's not the smallest guy in the world either.
No, no, he's a pretty big guy, bald and big.
And I'm getting ready to lose power.
Uh
There we
oh.
go. I think I'm good.
No,
Technically challenged old man right here.
before we do head out, tell us a little bit about what you got coming up, any wrestling events or places that you're going, any Comic Cons. I know we met at Charlie's Comic Con recently.
Real quick, September the 6th, Veterans Pro Wrestling in Spring Hill, Florida. I'll be there for a fan fest from 4 to 6 at the VFW.
Okay.
VFW Post 10209. There's going to be a bunch of people there. Go to veteranprowrestling.com.
Mm-hmm.
Then the September the 20th, I believe it's in Riverview, Florida.
Oh, wow.
For Sunshine Pro. I don't have any of the details on that. And then October the 5th at 5:30, Extreme Global Championship Wrestling at the Center in Deltona, Florida. So that's what I got coming up. If you want to book me, go to either X or Twitter, whatever it is. Jim Molineaux, just look me up. JIMMOLINEAUX.
That's awesome. And WWE or AEW, if you hear this, book them. Get them in there. Now, would you actually, if they did want to book you, would you actually do that?
I don't know. I think I'd look ridiculous compared to what they've got going on nowadays.
I don't think so. I think it'd be awesome. That'd be pretty cool.
I think about it.
Hey, if you could still do it now, I think you could. Oh, I think we lost him here. Yeah, he lost a little power. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. I know it's a little different realm. We're going to be doing a lot of different things. We will still be having paranormal people, Bigfoot people. Still, I'm not going anywhere with paranormal anywhere. That's my passion. We're still going to be talking about all things paranormal. But I also want to say, I was going to talk to him about Hulk Hogan. I just want to say, man, what a legend in wrestling. I grew up watching him. Man, it was sad that he passed away. Also, Ozzy Osbourne, his funeral was today. So, and if you watch Big Mama Radio, check us out in the morning at 7:30 in the morning. You'll see me every Tuesday through Friday on Big Mama Radio. Also, you can download the Big Mama Radio app on Apple and iTunes and all that other cool stuff. But if you see that QR code, take a picture of it. You can visit my website. I have a website now and a merch store, so you can check my bio, all that stuff. You can see my guest, who's going to be on my show, all that cool stuff. So we're going to be heading out here. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I couldn't do this without you guys, and hope you have a good week. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Come say hi to us on Big Mama Radio. 7:30 a.m. in the morning. You'll hear all your news. So hope you guys have a blessed day, and stay wild, people. See you on Saturday back on Animal Expedition Files, and tomorrow morning. Peace out.
Lights on. Dark Realm TV.